Hello guys, this is Lamosan Konde. Let's talk about functions today in JavaScript. We'll take a quick video on how to play around with function because functions are very important in JavaScript and that's actually what make the core part of JavaScript because Java and JavaScript are two different stuff. Okay, now I'll go to my editor. As you can see, this one is Sublime Text as I'm using, and I'll come up with a simple HTML and just like HTML first. As you can see here, I hope you know everything here, what I'm doing. I'll just go to functions of JavaScript because HTML is a part of it. You have to know HTML before you do JavaScript and other stuff because HTML, CSS, and other stuff will be the first stuff that you do before you go to PHP, you go to JavaScript or other C++ languages. If you're doing anything, you first have to start with HTML and other stuff. First, I'll talk about how to link yourself to a JavaScript document and then how to get started with it. There are other people there who can just go directly and put the JavaScript, embed it with the HTML document. And the other people out there who can also put the JavaScript document outside the HTML so that they just link it outside. Okay, now I will, for the tutorial purposes, I'll just have to put it right here. I'll link it right here and I'll put it just below the body. I'll put it here because I want the body to load first before everything else is loaded. I'll say script. This is the way that you start up your JavaScript scripts, and you just say script or and the text type. You can leave up to this. You can take out this and it will still work. If you take out all this, it will still work. Let's check out if our JavaScript is working by alerting something to a page. And if we come here and try to load this page, wait first, let me close this one. This is the former one. Let me close all this. I think it has memorized. And let me try to open this page if I can see anything. Let me try to save it first and try to open the browser and see if I can see something from this page. As you can see, there's nothing there. There's completely nothing. Now, what I'll do is try to put something. I'll just put maybe, what should I put? A document. Okay, I'll put an input type. Maybe let me put a button. Input type, let me put submit. I'll just put a button. And then the name of the button should be submit. And the value should be click me. Let it be click me. That's the value of the button. And I'll give it an ID. Let it have an ID like submit sub. That's the ID. And I'll also put an H1 and then put in something there. This button is about JavaScript. Okay, let me save this. Go to my web browser. Refresh. Can you see this button is for JavaScript and there's also click me here. This button has been created there. Okay. Now, I'll first have to go to functions. The functions is not going to be in the body as it is. This whole thing here is going to be in the body, but the functions and everything about JavaScript is going to be in this script. Okay, I will simply say, let me first see if it's working by saying alert. This is JS and save this. But actually, I have to put semicolons at the end for this to work. I have to put semicolons. Save and go to this page. Refresh. Can you see? It's alerting us this is JS. If you click OK, there is still this stuff. That alert is just showing us that what we told it to show us, like this is JS. It's an alert that you can use it in many ways when you're programming. Maybe you're trying to alert somebody, you're trying to give some pop-ups and stuff. You can use that alert. It's a very important part. If you refresh this, it's coming up with this is JS. Okay, now we don't want that. We want that this is JS to come up when we tell it to come. We don't want that this JS should be coming when we don't want it to come. You have to program it. You are a programmer. Let's take you want that this is JS to appear when you click this button. When you click that button, this is JS should appear. What will you do? Then you have to come in with functions now. Okay, let me go here and try to create a function. I'll take this is JS out and come up with a function. I'll say function. This is the way you create functions. Okay, I'll say in JavaScript to create functions, what you have to put the name. As you can see here, there's a function name. To put a function name, that's the one that you use it to call on a DOM or somewhere in HTML. That's where you're going to use that name. And you also need to put arguments. Arguments work together with parameters. They work in terms. What I'll do here is I'll have to give the name to that function. I'll simply say just I'll simply say just, that's the name of the function, and I'll remove these arguments because we're not going to use these arguments for now. And here in the body is where we are going to put the function of the JavaScript. What is it going to do? Let's say we are going to use the same alert. We want this script to give us the same alert. We say alert, then you can put double quotes, you can put single quotes, anything will work. This is my JavaScript. And then semicolons. But if you save this one, if you try to save this one, if you try to save this and maybe go to the web browser and try to refresh, you see there's nothing happening. But the reason is because the function is not called. There's many ways you can call functions. Let's try to do this first. Come to here and say just with the name of functions and put these brackets and then put some colons and try to save that here. Or maybe I should just go to Chrome and try to refresh this. Can you see? This is my JavaScript. Do you know why? It's because we did call the function. That's the way we call a function. But that way of calling functions is not really recommended in JavaScript because there is other ways that you can call that functions by clicking something, by letting the page loads, because this function is just coming in when the page loads. That's what the function is doing. But we want that function, the same function, to come when we click the button. How do you do it now? Okay, I'll go to my, let me first come here and open my console so that we'll be able to see what is going on. This is console, my console. Okay, now I'll come here. What I'll do is I'll take out this and try to call this function just. I'll call that function by going to this ID, which is sub, and I'll say when the user click on this input button, which is submit, when he clicks on clicking, on click, this function called just should be called. We should call a function called just. And what is that function just called? This function called just is doing this. Okay, let me Save this, go in the web browser. I use this one and refresh, then click this button. Can you see? This is my JavaScript. Then okay. I go again, click. This is my JavaScript because I did call that functions. Okay. Now I go okay. I go to my web editor again. I have to tell you the other ways of maybe trying to call the same functions. But there is other stuff that you can do. In case here, you can also come and ask a user for his name. You can ask a user for his name. You can ask a user for his password. You can ask a user for anything what that is called. Now you say, what is your, okay, you prompt, sorry for that. You have to type a prompt here. Then type here that what is your name? What is your name? Okay. Now when the user clicks on that click button, it will ask him what his name is. That's what it actually means. This prompt, what actually does is prompting, is asking what somebody can do. Now, if I do this, I save this and come here and try to refresh and then click. You see, it's asking what is your name. And if you want, you can type anything here. You can type your name. My name is Hastings Sinkonde. You see, you can type anything and click OK. Now you have to put in some method that will have to pick that name, that will have to take that name and put it where, and put it whenever you want to put that name. Okay, this is about prompt and alerts. You can also alert here. You can alert, and this will come with an alert. You can alert telling somebody that oops. You can just alert by saying oops and save and come here and click. When you click, is this page is asking what is your, okay, because I didn't refresh, I have to refresh it. Refresh, then click, then saying oops. You see, that's it. That's all about it. Okay, now there is a lot of stuff that you can do, but for this one, I think that's about it. I will show you more about this JavaScript tutorials more. I will have a lot of stuff to. There is confirm. You can say confirm. You can. There is a lot. There is other way. Maybe let me show. But I'll come up with another way of calling the functions. I think in other video because I don't want to make this video very long. But that is one way of calling the function. Thank you for being with me. That's Love Motion Conde.